What's going on, weather fans? It's Alex back here with another video. So, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. It's quite windy out there today. Our coastal system that's from the Carolinas delivering a little bit of a northeasterly wind. 35 to 40 mile per hour gusts are possible today, and you will noticing the trees are starting to sway quite a bit. Very cold though. Currently my temperature reading from my room, with my weather station over there, 9.8 degrees at 9:22 a.m. Yeah, it's brutally cold. Brutally cold. Wow. Yeah. So, we have our coastal system in the Carolinas slowly starting to wind down. By 1 p.m., that thing's out of here. That thing's out of here. Maybe a few flurries or snow showers could be possible in the afternoon, but I doubt it. We'll have to see. Yeah. And then the cold air entrenchment will begin. By the time we get into Tuesday, we have a bit of a clipper system. I will say Clipper system could deliver a coating to 2 inches. Not anything too major though. Um, yeah, as you can see, by the time we get into Wednesday morning, there could be a few heavier snow showers embedded in there, so it could give you an inch or two, and it will add on to the massive 10 inches we still have. So that still is quite insane. And then our next rock of cold air enters on Friday, and you can see that 999 millibar pressure system starting to enter from the Great Lakes. Watch what happens. Dives through 997, 993, 991, 990. Very gusty northwest wind. I'm getting a little bit concerned about this one. I will tell you, I'm getting concerned about this wind signal here. This could be easily gusts over 50 miles per hour if this verifies. And I think the Clipper could be a little stronger in reality. This right here, the European has a different position. This is right here, and it swoops right through New Jersey. So the wind could be a huge problem on Saturday. And I wouldn't be surprised if New Jersey got a few inches out of it, like 2 to maybe as much as 4 inches. Man, I'm telling you, the snow is going to be piling up. Now, we get past that. Sunday. Now, the pattern changes a little bit. And here's why. So, let's take a look here at our potential height anomalies. This is a little bit different of a graphic than what we usually show, but it's going to illustrate it very well. Okay, so this is going to be for February 2nd. And you can see that major low pressure system with that lobe of Arctic air starts to exit out the region. Before Tuesday comes, and it's snow, but it's starting to warm up in the southeast a little bit. However, watch this lobe of cold air on Thursday. That's going to be your Clipper system trying to form here. Right there. Right there. Notice that polar air up in the north. Watch how that's going to swing south and displace completely from the Arctic. Look at this massive lobe of cold air about to enter through the northeast. Boom! By the time you get into Friday and Saturday, look at these purples. Look at these dark purples, magenta colors over in the northeast. Extremely cold air. Arctic Siberian air will be likely again next weekend. Now, when we get into Tuesday, notice that this pattern will start to become a little bit more zonal. And what this means, how it's a little bit more flatter in the jet stream. What does that mean? So, you're going to have your ridge here, and you're going to have your very cold air over here. What is this going to set up? So think of it as a sandwich. You have bread on the top, and then you put your condiments in the middle, right? And your condiments are in the middle, right? So this is your bread piece, this is your bread piece, that's your condiments. And what's that's gonna do, this green line right here, that's gonna be your storm track. And these low pressures are gonna want to travel through them like that. And what that's gonna do is that it's gonna be an overrunning event. An overrunning event trust me, it can very well dump feet of snow. And that is an example of last weekend when we got a foot of snow here. It started looking very impressive, but sleet and freezing rain eventually mixed in. That doesn't matter because, we still had a lot of snow before that with the foot of snow. Very impressive. But anyways, going back to my idea of the overrunning event, notice how our lows assemble over here. And again, the idea of that green line right here that goes along with that. Then, by the time we get in the 13th, that's probably a big snowstorm. And if we go back to the maps here, let's see if that is the case. And let's go to February 12th. Yup, right there. That's a snow signal. That's a big snow signal right there. Like I said, that low pressure travels through. That's an overrunning event. And watch what happens. Snow all of New Jersey. I don't know how heavy it is, but it will add several inches possibly. And then, let's go back to our heights again. Okay, we get past that overrunning event. Watch what the GFS does. Extremely lobe of cold air tries to enter through. Watch what starts to happen. This monster is gonna try to put cold air into here. And it's gonna try to swoop a low pressure up the coast because this pressure zonal pattern, this right here, your jet stream is gonna be like that. And it's going to curve right up the coast. Watch what happens. These low pressure systems, that one right there near Louisiana, oh boy, if this were to materialize on Valentine's Day, 997 near New Jersey, that's going to be a really close call because I feel there could be some major snowfall opportunities in there, and that cold air just builds back right in. And we have more extremely cold air to our north. It's not ending. It's just not ending. And let's take a look at the surface indication of what we see on February 15th, the 16th. Boom! Right there. If that low pressure just moves a little bit to the east, that's a major, major snowstorm and probably a blizzard. Oh my god. This has to be watched very closely because February is known to be quiet, and then it turns extremely hyperactive. And the GFS is indicating that. But first, we gotta get through this clipper system. This Tuesday one, sure, maybe a coating to 2 inches. Not really a big deal. But this Friday one I will be watching, it's a bit more of a vigorous clipper. So I think it could easily deliver a few inches of snow into this area right here. Not just a coating, a few inches, like 2 to maybe 4 inches, very possible. And then we're going to be watching these extremely gusty winds. I feel that could be an easily 50 to 60 mile per hour range right there. And it could be something similar to that December, what date was that? I know December had quite a few of these high wind events, and these high wind events could return as well. So, if you don't like the wind, I'm sorry to say, but the wind is definitely going to return in a big way. February 10th, February 11th, calms down. We have another storm signal to watch out for, and then that 15 to 16 time frame. I'm telling you, that time frame, I think if the lining up of models starts to agree on this, I think this could be a major, major snowstorm. I think it really could, because I just don't see the warm air intruding anytime soon. I really don't see it. Why? Dude, whoever said February was going to be a torch, absolutely wrong. Like extremely wrong. Extremely wrong. This ain't ending anytime soon. I think and in fact, the indications for a cold March is there until mid-March. However, your sun angle starts to matter more and your high temperatures start to dramatically increase until like the 45 range, and then mid-March is like maybe 50. But I will say, March can be very, very active. just like 2018 proved. This could be a very similar setup. Why? Think about it. The last 2 weeks of February were brutally cold. And we had a major snowstorm on top of that. What does that indicate? 2014 pattern. That's a 2014 pattern. Maybe it was a delay by 2 weeks, but that's the 2014 pattern we're saying. And what else are we seeing? If it's delayed, 2014 has some major snowfall. If this is delayed, I think February is gonna be a hyperactive month, even more than January. January already itself, very impressive, extremely impressive. But February, I think this could double your digits of snowfall if this pans out. And think about it. You don't need a major snowstorm to really add up your totals. It's these little events, like, let's say, Tuesday into... Oh, wait. We're a little too far out. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. See, the one with Tuesday, the one with Friday, the one with maybe next week on the 10th to the 13th. This is really going to start to add up your snowfall. And people may say, oh, they're so minor. But let's take a look at these totals from the GFS until that major storm arrives. And you can see a solid 4 to as much as a half a foot for Jersey and the Mid-Atlantic. So this is really going to start to add up your snowfall. And once that major storm arrives, boom, look at those totals climbing. Oh yeah. So, and this just goes out to February 17th. But my point is that February, trust me, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. The cold is here to stay. The brutal Arctic cold is here to stay. And in fact, if we take a look at our temperature anomalies, this is going to indicate this ain't going anywhere. Nowhere anytime soon. So let's go to our Friday lobe of Arctic air, because that's what I'm really interested in. And I'm just going to show you how ridiculously cold it is going to get. And it warms up a little bit. Boom. Look at this extremely cold air. This is on another level of cold. If you want to see the temperatures, okay, let's zoom in here to the northeast here. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that's cold. That's very cold. Very cold air. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be dealing with some 0 degrees in the morning and probably some negatives as well. Yeah, this is gonna be a whole week of dealing with 0 degree temperatures possibly. Man, I mean, the lows that we've been seeing recently. Okay, I will say, from my weather station, we haven't been seeing these negatives yet. But I think it's a real possibility we could start seeing them very soon. So, dude, I mean, the insane amount of cold we are getting this year is ridiculous. The fact that the Sierra Nevadas might be getting rain? Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's been a summer. It's literally been spring and summer there. But here, it's been absolutely relentless Siberian air. It's been so cold. I literally went out for 2 minutes trying to check on my camera, trying to transfer stuff. Dude, my hands were about to get frostbite. That's how cold it is. My hands were all purple. I just went outside for 2 minutes, maybe at like 5 p.m. And my hands were extremely, like, freaking freezing, and it was getting purple. So, man, it's just been brutally cold outside. You cannot do anything outside. And I imagine if it was snow in like 12-degree weather, good luck trying to shovel that. No way. You would freeze. I would never do that. Oh my god. But anyways, what I'm trying to say here, this pattern is just going to become a whole lot crazy. So, what are our storm signals? Our storm signals. First, we're going to monitor that Tuesday into Wednesday system. Probably coating the 2 inches at most. Then, Friday into Saturday, big wind event is on store. U.S. National Hazard has it outlined there could be a very big wind event. 50, 55, 60 miles per hour gusts, I think, is on the realm of possibility. And then we have a few inches of snow to add on Friday before that big wind event comes. So snow drifts will be pretty bad. Now, we get into the 10th into the 14th. Overrunning signature, overrunning sign. That could mean very nasty snowfall. I don't know how strong it's going to be, but if that southern stream amplifies just a bit more, there could be some more several inches of snow adding on. And then 14th to the 15th, we're watching a potential nor'easter pattern returning once again. So in total, I think we could add on an additional foot from these mini systems. Yeah, that's how easy it is. That's how easy it is to get a foot. You just need several systems to come back to back with cold air. Man, we have 10 inches outside now. I think our ruler could be saying 20, 22 by the time we get into the 14th of February. After that, oh my God, I don't even know, but it's about to get insane. It's about to get insane. These snow piles are about to. Oh man, towns are gonna have a rough time cleaning this up. And we have nowhere to place our snow out in these streets now because they plowed it all into my area. They have nowhere to put that in now. They have nowhere to put it in now. And now comes the issues of the town cleaning it up. I don't think it's gonna be that easy. I think there could be some 3-day school closures just because of a 3-4 inch system, because they don't have anywhere to place the snow. So and it's gonna freeze the next day. So I will see you guys in the next video. We're watching a lot of clippers, a lot of mini storms that are gonna add up. But I will see you guys later. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Stay warm out there. Don't freeze. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.